Hello and welcome my team members and others who will watch this video. That's why I'm talking in English. In case the masses or we want to talk to producers who want to know about these features or anything like that. In this video I will show you the prototype of dialogues that I've been working on. We got a lot of things to go through. We have dialogues in Unity. We have some ink scripting with tags, and we have slightly with animations and a little bit of small pictures in dialogues, like faces, making faces in dialogue. So we got three parts to this video. The first part is the demoing. I will show you what we got, the cool stuff, and then I will show you some ink scripting, and then we'll end with some Unity. All this is good to know if you are going to write dialogues with us or do level design or do some graphic design or maybe even animation. So, without further ado, let's get started. So the demo part is the start. Let me show you what we got. So this is the little scene we got here, and we got some people to talk to. Let's talk to this first person. So this first feature is a small animated thing icon above the NPC. We can change it if you got something more beautiful. Let's press Q. Okay, so we opened a dialogue, and this is how it looks right now. This is just placeholder, of course, but you can see that he's saying, "Hi, I use the standard camera. It always points from the player towards me, so it depends on where you stand." And you can choose to give this. We haven't implemented this feature, but you can say bye. And this is the camera part. Like if you talk to him from this angle, you will use this camera angle. We can implement in the future that the NPC will face you, which will make it less robotic. So this person has their own camera, so it doesn't matter where you stand. And this person has a camera from the top and it's connected to the dialogue. It doesn't say much for you now, but in Unity it has a difference. This person uses reactions. I call these images reactions. These are just pictures we put in the right place and you can attach one to each message, basically. So you can have a picture of this guy saying something, and then you can have a picture of you saying something else. You can have a picture of a third person saying something, or even a picture of a lamp. Like, this lamp looks cool, or whatever. What it says here is just summation of how to do the reactions and connect them in ink. I will show you how to do that, so you don't have to read and understand right now. But this demo will probably be accessible to at least internally for our team. This person has just some elaborate dialogue, some random stuff, and you can choose to say great or bad, and there's like trees, you can say, in the ink file, which guides you. Depending on what you say, you come to different parts of the dialogue and stuff like that. So you can look at these files, this ink file, and check it out, see how it works, making more advanced dialogues for those who want to write dialogue. This person has what I call an ink event, and these are connected to tags in the ink scripting. So you can say yes, and you can see this beautiful explosion. And you can talk to this person, and you can change the dialogue, and this other dialogue has another camera angle. So you can, every time you change the dialogue, you can change the camera angle. And he tells you what an ink event is. It's basically, yeah, some stuff in Unity that the level designers need to know, and probably the ink writers, but it's a bit, we don't need to go into that right now. Let's talk to this thing. It's a TV. So basically it becomes like a interacting with an inanimate object. We don't have a name here, we don't have a picture, so the player can feel like, oh, it's just a description of what I'm seeing or something. And instead of saying something, you can just have like an action, and it could be anything for anywhere. Like, it's very dynamic. We turn on it, and we actually turn on the TV. We can actually turn it off, we can turn it on again, and you can watch the news. It says, watch breaking news. Giant octopi in the sea. No swimming unless you are very pointy or smell or taste really bad. This is the daily news. Thank you for watching. And you can add audio for this as well. Yeah, you can do that. The last part of the demoing is talking to user lips here. You can see I've added some user lips here. Let's get a good angle. It doesn't have a good camera angle. It uses the play one. Hey, let's talk. Oh, what's this? Animation. Ooh, amazing. So this dialog boxes has a tag that says something something. You can decide like babbling mouth, talking, or whatever. And then in Unity we will connect it to the right animation that somebody has done, and then it will basically run it. This dialog box runs another one, a surprise one where it just jumps, and then it goes to idle one, and then this one is just a talk one. And then when you don't talk to him, he has this quite subtle idle pose. So that is the demoing part. So let's next go into the ink part. This is ink. I can link you to where you get it. It's free. It's made by an awesome studio. Can't remember the name, but it's really good too. So all the dialogues are written in this. To show you how simple it can be, you can just write hello, right, left, to this left part. Here's where you do the scripting, you can row numbers, and to the right here you can play basically your story. So I can basically do hello, and maybe I can do an answer like hi, and then say that if you choose this answer, you will reach the end of the story. This one confusing. Okay, well, can actually maybe I wonder if that works. No, that's because the whole thing. Okay. Well, it's pretty simple. I'm gonna show you a lot of different ink scripts, so you will get it. Let's start with the standard camera one. Oops, I've written some stuff. So this is how it looks like in the. This is what it says in the game. All of this will be one dialog box. If you just keep writing like this, it will just be one dialog box. If you press enter, you will create in Ink. You will see it as another paragraph. In Unity, in our game, it will be another dialog box. So that's how to differentiate between dialog boxes if you want dialog boxes piled upon each other without any choices. Okay, I'm just gonna go to the next one. Let's see, let's go to the ink event explosion person. So here's where tags come in. This is a tag, it says explosion. Let's go through this one. So you want to see an explosion? And then you can choose yes or you can choose no. So let's rewind this. Do you want to see an explosion? Yes, thank you. Then we run the tag explosion. If we choose no thanks, we will display this message. This is also if you want to add a character like bear, or if you don't want to have that, if you want to use reactions instead, pictures, we can do that. So we can see what feels best. Anyway, this tag triggers the explosion. Let's go to the changer, and this is I've added a little bit of twist here, or not a twist, but so this dialog starts with saying I use an ink event to change to another dialog, and then you can choose change dialog, and it will take you to this knot. This is called a knot. 3 things and a name. It's called a knot. And when you get in here, it just triggers the tag, change dialog tag, basically, and that changes the dialog. This is obviously things that has to be linked up in Unity as well, but this is how it looks in the ink. Let me show you another one. Let me show the animations one. Here is the animations one. Let's rewind that. Didn't work? Oh, you don't have any choices. And it's ink, so everything gets loaded directly. Anyway, in our game, obviously, it will be 3 dialog boxes. It will be, hey, let's talk. And then, Mamma Mia, that's scary. And then, why did you scare me? And Pliskin is an ink event. And in the ink event, we have a consequence of animation. So you can also do explosion explosion. You can add as many tags as you want, basically. And as a writer, with dialogue with the others, well, as a writer, you get to choose the name of the text, basically. So just make something up. Hey. Actually, that's a bad tag. Don't use weird symbols. Just use text and underscores. You can use capital letters as well if you want. But it's a special thing with reactions, actually. Reaction tags are slightly different. It's important to know. I'm gonna show you reactions. Here's the reaction one. It's got a lot of text, but it's not that advanced. There's no choices. It's just one running dialogue or monologue. So this first one is hi, and then we have this tag here, and it will run an InkEvent, and this special InkEvent has an exclamation mark there in the beginning. That means our game engine will interpret it as an emote, and it will try to find this emote or reaction image. The naming of this reaction is a bit tricky and it's very specific. This is a part of a file name, basically. You can see it down here in the dialog. File name, if the file name is reaction underscore. All reaction files should start with reaction underscore. And then you can write basically anything here in the middle part. And that's basically the tag that you use. You can see here, Pepe happy. And then you don't write .png in the tag. This is to keep the ink script as clean as possible. And it's a good standard to write like the model name first, like this is Pepe, or it's all the Pepe reactions, and this is the specific name of this reaction. This is the Pepe one, the happy one, I mean. Pepe snacks is this one. This is the first one. And these exclamation mark tags, these reaction tags in Ink, they can be used just as the same way as other tags. So you can add things, all kinds of consequences. You can add, like, if you make this reaction tag here, Pepe snacks, then in Unity you can connect it so that every time this one is shown, it will also play a sound, like eating chip sound or something like that. This is not a fully developed feature. It doesn't work super well, so I need to redesign that a bit, but it's basically gonna work the same way. So you don't need to, the ink writers don't need to change anything. It will still be the same for the ink writers. So what else? We have the TV. Maybe that's a good one. So the first dialogue with the TV is called TV off. It's when the TV is off, and it throws you directly into this watch not. It just says it's a TV, and yeah, I made this new tag here, description, to show you later in Unity how we connect tags to InkEvents in Unity. And you can make this choice, turn on. It will end the dialogue, so you will be thrown back, so you can make the choice of saying bye or give or what's the other one? It's a watch or turn off, I guess. It also triggers, this just triggers the turn on ink event, which obviously turns on the TV. And it also changes the dialog into this other dialog, which is the TV on dialog, which the TV says when it's on, basically. Throws you in this watch not. I just realized it's a bit weird. This color is not called watch. Should be called watch. Should be called info or something. Okay, when the TV is on, you can either choose to watch. Then you will be thrown into this monologue, this little knot here, and then back to the end where you can choose watch or turn off, I guess, again. If you choose turn off, it will trigger the turning off of the TV, and you will activate basically this dialog instead. So get thrown back and forth in this one. I'm gonna show you ink event change dialog. This last one, I think. This is the guy that's in the back. Says this is another dialog. Tags in ink files called InkEvents in Unity. That's where all the magic happens. What's an ink event? And when you choose that, you go into the magic knot, and he tells you about all the ink events, and he triggers an explosion, and basically the only thing you can choose, well, you can choose back, and you can always choose end and give. Like, let me show you again. You can always choose buy and give when all the dialogues have run through, basically. But if there's a lot of dialogue like this one, directly you are thrown into this where there's no choice. Basically, it's one paragraph that says hi, and then you have to go through all of them, basically, and then until you get a choice or the dialogue ends. This time the dialogue ended, so you can choose buy. This guy back here. So change dialogue, change this one. It's ink event. He explains what ink event is, and then you get thrown back here, and you can choose back or buy or give. Let's say buy. So that's basically it for the ink part of it. The last part is the Unity part. I will show you some more logic and stuff, no programming, but some game objects. Well, how do you attach ink objects, ink scripts to game objects, and so on and so forth. So let's do that. So here we are back in Unity. We got a lot of stuff here. I got the player selected and the game is showing. We're gonna look at this first NPC over here. Now when I press this, I usually get into the model, which I don't want, but I know who this is. This is the whole NPC. This is another one. This is the third one. In this NPC, we got this special NPC dialogue ability. This is what you need in order to have dialogues. In this, you can have one or more dialogues. So this dialogue uses this ink script. It's the JSON version. There's also always a JSON version that's for Unity, and an ink version where we work, where we can write, where we understand how the data looks like. It doesn't have any InkEvents, just has this. Hi, I use a standard camera, yada yada yada. So that's the kind of the simplest kind of dialogue we can make. The next person over here, I think they're the same. They have their own camera here for the NPC, under the NPC. This means that this camera will be used unless there are specific cameras in these dialogues. It's just, he just got one dialogue as well. So this third person is actually over back there, has a dialogue, and in the dialogue this guy got a camera or virtual camera, which means this camera will be used in this dialogue. Since it doesn't have any other dialogue, that's the only camera that will be used in practice. So under this category, I've put some NPCs regarding tags and InkEvents. These are the last guys, the explosion guy and the changing camera angle guy. This last one is the change dialogue one. It's got this game object here. It's inactive. Actually, he doesn't use this, so I didn't need this particle system. But he's got a dialogue ability, and in this he got two dialogues. In the first one, he got one camera in front of him. Oh, what happened now? Oh, that wasn't good. Then I have to resize everything. What in the world? I just broke everything. Just broke everything. Doesn't get any smaller. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. I guess I have to deal with that somehow. I'm experiencing some technical difficulties. Okay, well, you can't see everything down here, but you don't need to see that, so I don't think so. Anyway. Back to Unity. Here we go. This dialog has a special InkEvent controller. You don't have to create this. If you just press this load InkEvents, it will scan this whole dialog, that is set, and we'll look for the tags, and each tag will get its own game object. Here it's just got one tag, it's the change dialog one, and this game object is basically an InkEvent. It's got an InkEvent script, and all it says here, it doesn't, you can't see it, but all the consequences on this game object will run when this InkEvent happens. So this is a consequence. You can add consequences by writing con here, and these are the 5 lines I've written so far. I will write more as we need them. We will probably need a lot of consequences. This one is the change dialog one, and you just pop in the dialog that you want to change to. So this is not an ink file. This is a dialog. Like this is dialog here. It has a ink script and it has all kinds of stuff. It got camera. It's got maybe tags, InkEvents. So in this one, you want to pop in a dialog here. So this dialog is actually the one that's popped in right here. If you press this one, you see. No wait, press this one here. And if you add this script, I can just show you. Add the change dialog script, and then just drag in this dialog that I want to change to. Boom. This dialog happens to be inside this NPC, which means that this dialog will end and this dialog will start as soon as this tag is reached. You could go into another NPC and like change the dialog in that NPC. That's a way to make progress in the story, basically. I talked to this guy, he says he loves red. I talked to this other guy, he says, oh, what color does the other guy likes? And you tell him red, and then you go back to the other guy and he's changed the dialogue. He says, what, did you tell that guy I liked red? Yeah, and so on and so forth. So this is another example. This guy over here with a particle system, basically. This white explosion. Here we have dialog ability. Dialog ability has one dialog. The dialog loaded is the InkEvent explosion. He talks about the explosion, asks if you want to see it. And I've already loaded in the tags here. There's just one and it's called explosion. And when you reach that one, it will do the consequence activate game object. And this is the game object in the scene, basically this particle system. And it will set it to a new state. This one will change it to active. If I would do this, it will deactivate it. But I want to activate it this time. We can actually check the TV one, because this one has two dialogues. This one dialogue is when the TV is off, and in this tag or InkEvent turn on, it will change the dialogue into this dialogue, the TV on dialogue, and it will activate the point light, which is where's the point light? This point light. So it will activate this one, and it will also activate the screen one, this one, like that. And like that the TV is on, and like that the TV is off. So basically this other dialogue just it activates the other dialogue, the TV off dialogue, and it changes the activated state of the point light and the screen and turns them off. So let's go into this person here. I think it's the reaction person. The dialogue here has, let me show you the dialogue again. So here we have Pepe Snacks. Starts with an exclamation mark. Pepe Sweating, Pepe Happy, Pepe Clown, Pepe Happy again. And so on. And in Unity, here's the dialogue. I pressed load InkEvents. If you press clean InkEvents, it will clean them out, basically remove them. So in case you have updated your ink script with new tags, remove tags, change the names of tags, then you might want to clean in InkEvents. In order to clean them, I've added this checkbox, so you cannot just press here, you have to actually press there and press there. So you don't want to remove. Hard work. And you can see here, all of this has an exclamation mark in the beginning, which means they are a reaction. But you can add anything here, like in the future I could make an audio consequence which triggers some kind of audio for this snack one, or something else. This clown one can honk a nose, boop boop boop, a toot or whatever. And you can see that there's only one of each of these tags. So in Ink, if you use Pepe Happy tag, it will always trigger this Ink event, always trigger these consequences. That's how the design works right now here in Unity. But I think that maybe we want to reuse these game objects, like Pepe Snacks. If you eat, like if this emote reaction of eating comes up, maybe every time the whole game we want a sound of the crunchy sound, and we might not wanna like put that in every level, because this is level specific. So I might change some things around a bit. I had to think about that. But this is the basic idea of things. This is the basic idea of things. Hopefully the basic idea will not change. But maybe it has to. I don't know. So the last part is the animation of user lips. Animation demo. Here's the user lips. Got dialogue ability, and in there we got one dialogue, and in that dialogue, let me show you. Here's the animation here. Pliskin jump, then Pliskin. So Pliskin is just actually a bad name. It should be some other kind of tag. Maybe let's see what we got here. Okay, that kind of stuff. Let me show you what happens if I change something in Ink. Here, I'm gonna change the name of this tag to move lips, maybe. Move lips, and maybe change this one to surprise, like that. and then save it. Makes more sense, right? Here in Unity, we will have some kind of bugs. We need to clean and load and or clean. So I'm going to do load. So you see right now we got pliskin and pliskin jump. We press load. We add in the move lips and the surprise one. And I'm gonna actually copy this, paste it there, copy this, paste it there. These two I will delete. So now this move lips will work. Just change the names of things basically. And these consequence animations, they need an animator, and if you don't set one, it will go to the nearest NPC, which is this one. No, that's the dialog ability, which is this one, and find the animator for that one. And in the animator, this is how the animator looks. This is very simple. These are 3 different animations. This is the floating animation when it's idle basically. This is a jump scare animation. This is a body wag animation, which is actually talking and wagging. So, and these arrows depict like when the scene starts, it will go into the floating idle one. If any of these from any state basically, we can trigger all of these, and this is how I trigger them. This is the condition here, talk trigger, and here are the names of the triggers that you can create new ones. So, and if this talk trigger is triggered, this animation will be triggered. And you can also see that this jump scare animation one, when it gets triggered, it runs, and after it's done, it goes into the, so it doesn't keep jumping. Unless you want to. You can just delete this arrow. Like that. And then it will keep jumping. That's the animation part. So I don't think I have anything more to show. So I guess thank you for watching. I hope it was clear. I hope we can make a great game basically.